Mr. Errico? Here. Mrs. Patel?
Here.
Mr. Shi? Here. Mrs. Peng?
Here.
Dr. Chen?
Here.
Mrs. Conway?
Here.
Mrs. Podolsky?
Here.
Mrs. Madiker?
Here.
All present, Mrs. Maroney.
Thank you, Dan. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the Edison Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted on the Edison Board of Education's Administrative Office website. Copy of these notices were sent to the Home News Tribune and the Star Ledger on January 7, 2020. The public may participate at regular meetings in accordance with the bylaws and the applicable state regulations. Before we start the meeting, we had a tragedy this past week in Edison. We lost a grandmother and a 5-year-old student to a house fire in Edison, and I would like to have a moment of silence in memory of them. Thank you. Okay, at this time, we will have Billy Liang, Billy, from J.P. Stevens, our student representative from J.P. Stevens, present what's going on at J.P. Stevens. Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Billy Liang, Student Council President at J.P. Stevens. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm absolutely honored to be here.
Today we will recognize many students for their outstanding achievements. These students have worked unbelievably hard to pursue and excel their passions, and I congratulate them from the bottom of my heart. I truly believe that being part of JP has a large part of helping so many students reach far and beyond in what they love, allowing them to bring their interests into the school community. Just this year, 2 of my close friends were able to start their own clubs about what they loved. Eric Wang meets every month with his large club to play as wizards, bards, or paladins in the mystical and adventurous game of Dungeons and Dragons, while Cynthia and her friends reach out and send cute aesthetic letters to pen pals who live all over the country and the world. At JP, they are able to bring what they love and share it with a community of eager students. In fact, we don't stop at just clubs. Let's take it back a few years, before I was even a student here. A student approaches the school about her passion for photography and wishes to start a club. The vice principal, now principal, Dr. Shallop, agrees and incorporates her small club into recording school events, making them a memory that'll last forever. Years go by, and the club grows bigger and bigger. And then, J.P. Stevens begins to offer a TV productions class. This class now records important school events and produces videos that display what our school is truly about, such as with their monthly summaries of JP in 60 seconds, as well as their YouTube channel, JP Studios, which is free to subscribe to for parents and students. The clips shown by this video are all filmed by the talented team on the film club and the TV productions class. They captured the pep rally, showing our school support for the great number of sports teams in the season, including swim, basketball, and winter track. At senior night, or senior day, student athletes are recognized for their hard work. For those interested, as you'll see later on the screen, here are some of the recent and upcoming senior days at J.P. Stevens. Saturday, January 25th, was for the boys basketball team. Thursday, January 30th, will be the girls basketball team. Friday, February 14th, will be the wrestling team. And Friday, January 31st, will be at Pro Skate in South Brunswick for the hockey team. Produced by the film team. It shows examples of students helping a friend or just making sure that everyone is included, because at JP, we value kindness and support of each other above all. Student Council is launching a school-wide kindness campaign, and there are plans to bring the Wingman Project from the elementary schools and middle schools to the high schools to further encourage community and helping one another. We support a community of kindness and caring, and plan to continue to promote the beliefs of a welcoming and diverse school. But the main purpose of high school is gearing students towards the future and helping them really understand what they hope to achieve after graduation. The J.P. Stevens RISE program, tailored to our students, has helped me as well as hundreds of other students during our education. An informative assembly lets students know exactly what to expect in interviews, and students are walked through the process of creating their own resume. The administrative staff directly helps the students with mock interviews, returning helpful feedback and further encouragement. As a senior in her 4th year in high school, and as student council president who's tried her best to be as involved as possible, I can truly say I am thankful for this family of kindness, inclusion, and opportunities, helping me grow as a person and grasp my capabilities as a young adult. From the bottom of my heart, I am truly grateful that J.P. Stevens is the school it is today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Billy. Great job. Great to hear all the good things going on at J.P. Stevens. Thank you. Okay, from Edison High School, we have Malachi White.
I'm sorry. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, board members and administrators, Dr. Bragan. My name is Malachi White, and I'm a senior at Edison High School. I am also the General Student Council President at Edison High School. I am a member of the varsity basketball team. I'm an avid student, and I'm also a member of the Black Student Union at Edison High School. And before I begin, I'm going to talk about some of my responsibilities as President of General Student Council. I am responsible for planning and overseeing some of the major school events that take place throughout the year, and today's presentation is about some of these events. So to start, we have Diwali, which, as we all know, Diwali is a celebration of lights, but at Edison High School, we like to view it as a celebration of the beautiful culture at our high school. At Edison High School, we call Diwali Diwalit, and I'm not sure, I'm not sure how hip some of our parents are to the slang that we use in this term. We call it Diwalit because the slang word lit means something exciting or something that we think is cool. And we took the two words and combined it together. I'm sorry, this is way too low. We took the two words and combined it together and made it something exciting, and it's a wonderful celebration of culture. And our Diwali celebration actually took place on October 16th this year. And then a week later, we had our fall pep rally on October 25th, 2019, which is it's a wonderful morning. It's a morning that's centered around school spirit. Let's see. We also took the time at our pep rally to recognize the outstanding students and athletes as they walked the track. Our homecoming court and our fall athletic teams were also introduced on this day. And we had performances by our championship band and cheerleaders as well. Our next event is homecoming, which is probably the biggest event that we had in fall 2019. This year, actually, we had homecoming on October 26th. Which was a Saturday this year, which is the first time that Edison High School has ever done such a thing. And you know, when me and my board were planning the event, we were worried about ticket sales. But it turns out we sold over $3,000 in tickets, and we raised over $3,000 in student council budget, which is significantly more than what we raised last year. And if you direct your attention to the photo, you see our homecoming king and queen. And I was very lucky to win that night. It was a great night for me. And to the right, that is actually the president of the class of 2020, my great friend Stacy Zhang, who was also a hard worker. And it was just a great night in general for Edison High School. So next, we're going to take this moment to recognize some of our athletic programs. These are not all of our teams, but if you would direct your attention to the top left, that is our varsity basketball team that is currently 11-4. And I'm a part of the team, by the way. A very big game tomorrow. We play New Brunswick. But anyways, if you would direct your attention to the middle photo, we have our girls soccer team. Top right, we have our boys varsity football team, which has a lot of young talent right now, and I'm looking forward to hearing about them doing big things over the next 2 to 3 years. And then next, bottom left, we have our township hockey team, which is pretty much a culmination of J.P. Stevens, Edison High School, and Metuchen. And then the bottom right, we have our boys varsity soccer team, which went farther in states this year than they have in the past. And some of our athletes are here tonight. You Wave your hand, guys. Next, we're going to take this opportunity to speak about some of the charitable events that we've done so far. So far, we've done Volleyball for Charity, which took place back in November. It's pretty much a volleyball tournament where students can put together their teams of 6 to 9 and pay $5 a player and come out and just have fun, and all of the money goes to charity. And I should have mentioned this earlier, but so during homecoming season, we do, it's school tradition for us to send everybody in the homecoming court around the school with gold and red jugs, and they collect change. And boy, did they collect some change this year, because we raised over $1,000 for charity. And then lastly, I'd like to speak on the Hope for Josue movement, which is a student by the name of Josue Suarez, who unfortunately was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer last spring. And a student of ours at Edison High School, which is just so happens to be the treasurer of student council, a good friend of mine by the name of Ashley Montoro, she spearheaded this movement it called Hope for Josue, and she put down hundreds of dollars out of her pocket to have these wristbands created, these bright yellow wristbands. I actually have one, but I didn't wear it tonight. But she sold them each for, she bought over 600, and she sold them each for $2 a piece, and all of the proceeds went to the family, and she raised over $1,350. All right, next we're going to talk about school spirit. So we have our renowned Eagle's Nest, which is the picture at the top. Our Eagle's Nest will be in action tomorrow at the boys' basketball game against New Brunswick. Like I said, very big game tomorrow. And next, student council, we like to do these things throughout the year called Spirit Weeks, where they're designated weeks where the whole school participates and wears designated outfits for each day. Like, for instance, we'll have a workout Wednesday where everybody will come in with workout attire on. And one time we had a tie-dye Friday, which was really cool. We got to see a lot of different colors and things of that nature. And then we always like to repeat our slogan, which is, "You can't hide that Eagle pride." Some future events that will be put into action. We have Mr. EHS, which is pretty much a celebration of our senior boys. It's kind of like a talent show slash pageant or whatever. It's very, very entertaining. And we're actually in planning for that. That takes place later on this year in May. And then next we have our Dodgeball for Charity, which is kind of like Volleyball for Charity, but pretty much students have the opportunity to put together their own teams and go at it in a tournament, and all of the money goes to charity. And then, still need to talk to Mr. Ross about this, but I would love to put a 3v3 basketball tournament in place, for charity. These are just a few of our future events. There's a lot more that could be said right now, but we're continuing to work hard at EHS to put these to make these events reality. So thank you, and that's my presentation.
Malachi, nice job letting us know what's going on at Edison High School, and what's great about Edison High, as Mr. Ross would always say. Thank you. Okay, at this time, we're going to call up Mr. Vroom, our Supervisor of Fine and Performing Arts. One of our favorite nights of the year as a board is to recognize academics, fine and performing arts, and all our programs here in Edison, including athletics. So, Mr. Vroom, please take over.
Thank you, Mr. Errico. Can we get one more round of applause for our students from J.P. Stevens and Edison High School? It is one thing to speak in front of your peers. It is another thing to speak in front of your peers and the parents and everything, so they did a fantastic job, great job. So thank you, Mr. Errico, the board members of the Board of Education, Dr. Bragan, for having a night where we can recognize our students for their accomplishments. I'd like to welcome everyone, as was said before, to this Student Recognition Night. For those who are being honored for the first time, have never experienced a ceremony, what is going to happen is the principals are going to come up from your respective schools. They're going to announce your name. At that time, what we'd like you to do is please stand up in your seat, not on your seat, but just stand right there. And you can wave and say hello. And what we'll do is you will get your certificates tomorrow. Okay, so don't worry about coming on up here. We've got a lot of folks to recognize tonight, so this will be our wave. You stand up, do a little wave, and you can have a seat. After the last student is recognized, I will turn it back over to Mr. Errico for a resolution. So the first principal I would like to call up this evening is Mr. Brian McGrath from Herbert Hoover Middle School.
Okay, I would be remiss if I did not say that Malachi White was a Hornet before he was an Eagle, so good job, Malachi. Yeah, why not? Why not? Let's give it up for a Hornet. Okay, I would like to start by thanking Dr. Bragan, our board president, Mr. Errico, the entire Board of Education, and Mr. Vroom for putting together a wonderful opportunity for us to recognize all of our amazing students. That being said, I will jump right in, and the first group that I would like to call your attention to are the Herbert Hoover Middle School students who participated in the Code.org International Dance Party Character Contest, and those nationwide finalists who won under the direction of Mrs. Patricia Drake. Please stand when you hear your name. That would be Mohita Ilamarugan, Alexis Gonzalez, Karan Patel, Rishikesh Venkashawara Jawaja, Juliana Sanchez. Please stand and be recognized. Let's give them a round of applause. Mrs. Drake, please stand up as well. Thank you. The second group for the Code.org International Dance Party Character Contest, and this was our national winner. You can go on the website and see all of her amazing coding achievements. She won despite having competition from thousands of other students. Genevieve Pigeon, please stand up. Congratulations. We're going to shift gears now, and we're going to be recognizing those students who participated in our FCCLA Fall Leadership Conference. The winners of the first place Fall Leadership National and Statewide First Place Silver under the direction of Mrs. Hillary Marks and Mrs. Mary Capitan in the Community Counts Division are Swati Srisavasan, Tanvi Ravila, Samaya Joshi, and Diti Bampali. Please stand up. Congratulations. Same leadership conference, our national and statewide first place silver winners in lessons in leadership are Shagan Gadar, Nitya Kandori, Varniki Shramidi. Please stand up. Congratulations. And the last group that I'll be recognizing tonight are those students in the national and statewide first place gold perfect score in the Cupcake Challenge. And that's Isha Mandrakar, Mandy Radovanik, Sanika Mandrakar, Mia Cabrera, Haley Parikh, and Nicole Holderbaum. Please stand. Mrs. Weiss, Mrs. Capitan, please stand up. Congratulations. I would now like to turn it over to Mrs. Valentine, the principal at John Adams Middle School.
Good evening. Thank you, Dr. Bragan and members of the Board of Education for providing us this opportunity to recognize our students, all of whom are well-deserving of this recognition. I'd first like to start by recognizing Billy, although she wasn't a JAMS member of the student population. We share our love with our sister school, Woodrow Wilson, in recognizing you tonight. First of all, thank you to Ms. Creamer and Ms. Sego, the advisors for the Fall Leadership Conference of FCCLA, and all of the students who participated at John Adams Middle School. When I call your name, please stand up. First place bronze medal winners, Nitya Sani, Sanya Budan, and Pragya Adupa. Congratulations. First place silver medal, Sahili Brennan, Jennifer Duarte, Anakit Jha. Congratulations. First place gold medal, Amanda Chen, Hiral Zelavadia, Anashmita Day. Congratulations. And first place gold medal, Sahil Kulkarni and Aditya Mittal. Congratulations. And at this time, I'd like to introduce the principal of Edison High School, Mr. Charlie Ross.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you again to Dr. Bragan and the board for allowing us this night, for Dr. Vroom for the work putting behind it, and most of all, for all the parents and the students whose accomplishments that we shout out tonight. I'm going to start off with my soccer team under the guidance of Coach Brian Murtaugh. I had all GMC conference and all GMC white division, Ahmed Ali. All GMC white division from the same soccer team that went deeper in the States than Edison High has ever done before, Andrew Solomon. Last year, our football team graduated, it seemed like 75 different people, and nobody expected much from us coming out of one of the most potent divisions in New Jersey. But our team ended up making the playoffs behind a young core and a bunch of leaders that just would not be denied. So second team all area, first team all division from Coach Matt Fulham, Deion Freer, and Matty Yasko. First team all division, Malcolm Stansbury, Emmanuel Davila. First team all area and all white division, Ravi Lindsay. First team all area, all Greater Middlesex Conference, all division, Ty Martin. And there's still tickets for the fan bus tomorrow night to go watch us beat New Brunswick in New Brunswick. Mr. Martin and Mr. White are a member of that team, so great job by them. Look forward to seeing their recognition in the future. Now moving on to my music and arts. For the 2020 CJMEA Region 2 Honors Band under the direction of Mr. Mark DiNicuolo, Sergio Ramirez and Miss Emily Heller. Another one of our musical superstars, the 2020 CJMEA Region 2 Honors Band and Orchestra, Nirali Duraldi. And under the direction of simply the best choir teacher in the world, Mr. Ken Brown, I have for 2020 CJMEA Region 2 Chorus, Stephanie Belisario, Gabriella Engholm, Rebecca Engholm, Louis Forgione, Hannah Martin, Emma Mohanty, and Robin Nemeth. And our National Merit semifinalist this year was Mr. Ashwin Mika. Ashwin, thank you, great job. Now I turn it over to our host, Dr. Tony Shallop from J.P. Stevens.
Thank you, Dr. Bragan. Thank you, Board of Education, for arranging this evening to recognize the achievements of all our students. Thank you, Mr. Vroom, for organizing all the information to make this night possible. Congratulations to all the students so far recognized tonight and your families as well. Special congratulations to the students of J.P. Stevens and their families. Continue to work hard and you will reach all your goals. Congratulations to Coach Ellen Pisano and her student athletes being recognized tonight. Coach Pisano is the head coach for girls tennis. All red division, all conference, congratulations, Lauren Sun. Girls tennis, GMC champion, second doubles, all red division, all conference. Congratulations to two student athletes, Nisha Santhanam and Harani Kanan. Congratulations to Coach Lisa Dato for her student athletes being recognized. Coach Dato is the head coach for girls soccer. Girls soccer, all red division, congratulations, Mia Cheshire. Girls soccer, all red division, GMC, all conference, congratulations, Caitlin Clemens. Congratulations to Coach Lisa Dato for being recognized as the red division Coach of the Year. Congratulations, Coach Anthony White, for his student athletes being recognized. Coach White is the head coach for girls volleyball. Girls volleyball, first team, all red division, first team, all conference, all group 4, third team. Congratulations, Irene Kwan. Girls volleyball, first team, all red division, first team, all conference, all group 4, first team, all state, second team. Player of the year for Central Jersey, player of the year for GMC. Congratulations, Simran Carlson. Girls volleyball, first team, all red division, first team, all conference. Congratulations, Laurel Sicaria. Congratulations to the John P. Stevens High School Girls Varsity Volleyball Team for being Red Division champions, GMC Conference champions. 7 student athletes are being recognized. Congratulations, Irene Kwan, Simran Carlson, please stand as I call your name, Joyce Chen, Christina Chen, Carly Wittenbauer, Vivian Chang, Karishma Parekh, Victoria He, Yanan Yu, Aja Yuen, Alexia Tan, Danica Millants, Mayanda Ruiz, Holly Leary, Alexis Georgie, Lauren Hayoun, and Laurel Sicaria. Congratulations. Congratulations to Coach Anthony White for being recognized as the All-Conference, All-Red Division Coach of the Year. Congratulations, Coach Bill McMullen, for his student athlete being recognized. Coach McMullen is the head coach for boys soccer. Boys soccer, GMC, All-Red Division. Congratulations, Aniket Narketi. Congratulations, the new Mazer, for her student athlete being recognized. Coach Azer is the head coach for cross country. Cross country, all red division. Congratulations, Neil Prabhu. Congratulations to Coach Riggy for his student athletes being recognized. Coach Riggy is the head coach for football. Football, all red division. Congratulations to 3 student athletes. Nasir Neal, Laquan Gray, and Jamal Singleton. Congratulations to Ms. Patricia DeJoya Laird, Ms. Nicole DiMattia, and Ms. Linda Shopka, and they are the FCCLA advisors, for their students being recognized. First place, Fall Leadership Connection, FCCLA, the Banner Award. Congratulations to 5 students, Annie Arvanden, Ayushi Soni, Akshara Thadakumala, Aditya Kuva, Sophie Romansky. The Caregiver Carry All Junior Award goes to, congratulations to 2 students, Neha Patel and Sanika Patel. The Caregiver Carry All Award, congratulations to 3 students, Sneha Balani, Devasri Upaladpati, Riddhi Patil. The Community Counts Award, congratulations to 2 students, Sophia Patel and Ahmad Kubva. The Consumer Clout Award, congratulations to Drasidi Kanakia. The Financing Your Future Award, congratulations to 2 students, Vedi Patel and Nikki DaCosta. The Go Green Award, congratulations to 3 students, Harita Trivedi, Pahel Patel, and Shri Singhal. The Lessons in Leadership Award, congratulations to 6 students, Keith Furtado, Linda Liu, Spencer Tong, Melanie Mendonca, Rusht Syed, and Ariman Thula. The Membership Magic Award, congratulations to 2 students, Amritra Banda, Keshav Katari. Passion for Fashion 18-inch doll award goes to, congratulations, Andrea Maris. The Spotlight on FCCLA award, congratulations, Jitya Gubrasa Kran. Say Yes to FCS award, congratulations to 3 students, Aditi Mani, Sri Ramya Ganaseti, Agana Dangi. The Web Connect Award, congratulations to 3 students, Jeev Aranthun Muragan, Ishan Patel, and Ansh Gupta. First place, National Fall Conference FCCLA, Early Childhood Challenge Award, congratulations, Leba Mughal. Gold Medal FCCLA National Leadership Conference, the Advocacy Award, congratulations to 2 students, Annie Aravindan and Amruth Banda. The Career Investigation Award, congratulations, Ishni Kaur. Environmental Ambassador Award, congratulations to 5 students, Anaga Dangi, Jadashri Gubaresh Kran, Samitha Mufarafu, my apologies, Ahmad Kubva, and Neil Prabhu. The Fashion Design Award, congratulations, Andrea Maris. Illustrated Talk, congratulations to 2 students, Keith Furtado, Keshav Katari. Life Event Planning, congratulations, 2 students, Radi Patil and Devasri Upalapati. Nutrition Wellness, congratulations to 2 students, Angelina Budala and Tanvi Kumar. Recycle and Redesign Junior Award, congratulations, Jacqueline Trotman. Recycle and Redesign, congratulations, Nicole Marone. Parliamentary Procedure, congratulations to 7 students, Pragya Gupta, Prithika Majumdar, Melanie Mandonka, Ishani Matri, Sophia Patel, Pushti Patel, Epsa Singh. Congratulations to Mr. Matthew Lee for his students being recognized. Mr. Lee is the instructor for the J.P. Stevens Choir. National Association for Music Education All Eastern Junior High Honor Choir. Congratulations to 9 students. Navya Joshi, Meta Valuri, Annika Chakrabarti, Sanjana Mudukar, Aditya Singla, Anish Dharam, Siddharth Lakudu, Krish Nambiar, Nikhil Mula. National Association for Music Education All Eastern High School Honor Choir. Congratulations to 11 students, Meghna Das, Suved Joshi, Varasha Karthik, Viraj Kumar, Ayush Patel, Mukund Ramakrishnan, Kriti Saxena, Saloni Shah, Vedanshi Sharma, Dhrithi Valuri, Elton Vaz. National Association for Music Education All Eastern Music Musical Theater Repertoire Choir. Congratulations to two students, Varun Kari and Nidhi Padamanaban. Finally, congratulations to the J.P. Stevens National Merit Semi-Finalists. 19 students are being recognized. Akshath Shavtang Anna, Soham Banjari, Cynthia Cow, Ethan Epstein, Kush Agraglosh, Ojas Jain, Neil Jog, Jada Kang, Vihat Allah Mugidati, Ishan Patel, Arya Patil, Saransh Sani, Rishi Shah, Rahul Singh, Swapnil Singh, Rachel Tam, Divyesh Trivedi, Salana Wang, Cindy Zhu. Congratulations again to all the students recognized for their hard work. Mr. Vroom.
Thank you, everyone. At this time, I'd like to congratulate everyone again, all of the students, staff, coaches, and principals for their support of all the programs that allowed our students to be recognized tonight. So another big round of applause, please. And to you, the parents, for getting them everywhere they need to go. I know that's no small task. So at this time, I'd like to turn everything over to Mr. Errico. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vroom. Any board comments? Mrs. Conway.
I would like to just take the time to congratulate each and every one of you. It doesn't even come close to how much we appreciate you and all the work we do, other than just standing up and waving. I understand all your hard work, and we truly appreciate you stepping forward and being as good as all of you are. I thank you.
Mr. Shi.
Yeah, just quick comment. I just want to congratulate all the students who were recognized tonight. When you go home tonight, thank your parents. When you go to school tomorrow, thank your teachers, thank your advisors. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shi. Ms. Prasad Manikar.
Just want to congratulate all the students, and I would just like to say, keep reaching for those stars.
Thank you. I would also like to thank everyone, the countless hours that are put into these activities, ranging from academics to athletics to fine and performing arts, the tremendous hours the coaches and teachers put in. I would like to thank them, and then also the parents. As Mr. Vroom said, I'm sure you parents run around and get your kids to many different events on many different days, 7 days a week. So thank you for the parents to having your children involved in school activities and increasing their value to not only colleges, but society also. Thank you. Dr. Bragan?
It's hard to follow up on that, but I do want to congratulate all of our students that were recognized tonight, as well as the parents, as well as the teachers and advisors. You know, it does take a village to raise a child, and what we recognize tonight is the reasons why I'm so proud to be a part of this township, this school district, and to have the opportunity to be its superintendent. Congratulations to all of you. You make me proud, and shine bright, Edison.
Mr. Mashad, would you read the resolution, please?
Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Edison Board of Education hereby recognizes the outstanding efforts and accomplishments of the aforementioned students, and be it further resolved that the individual resolutions honoring each of the students be presented to the students.
Thank you, Dan. Can I have a motion?
So move.
Mr. Shi and Ms. Patel.
Mrs. Madiker?
Yes.
Mrs. Badovsky?
Yes?
Mrs. Conway?
Yes.
Dr. Chen?
Yes.
Mrs. Peng?
Yes.
Mr. Shi?
Yes.
Mrs. Patel?
Yes.
Mr. Errico?
Yes.
All yes.
Congratulations again. At this time, we're going to take a 5-minute break. So you all could leave the auditorium, and we can conduct our business after that break. Thank you again. No, okay. Okay, at this time, I need a motion to accept the minutes of December 16th, 2019. Mr. Shi? And Mrs. Conway?
Mrs. Madiker?
Since this is December, I have to abstain, right, Dan?
Abstain?
Yes,
Yeah,
abstain.
okay.
Raise your hand.
Mrs. Bodowski?
Abstain?
Abstain, okay. Mrs. Conway?
Yes.
Dr. Chen?
Yes.
Mrs. Peng?
Yes.
Mr. Shi?
Yes.
Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Mr. Erico?
Yes.
So carried.
Okay, at this time, I need a motion accept the board secretary's report. Ms. Prasad Madikar and Mr. Shi.
Mrs. Madiker?
Yes.
Mrs. Bodowski?
Yes.
Mrs. Conway?
Yes.
Dr. Chen?
Yes.
Mrs. Peng?
Yes.
Mr. Shi?
Yes.
Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Mr. Erico?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay, before we go into public comments, we have two corrections Dr. Bragan would like to make on the personnel section of the resolutions.
Thank you, Mr. Board President. On page 6 of 13, the last item on the bottom of the page, we have a teacher listed as a .06. That should be a .6 position. And on page 9 of 13, third teacher down, the start date is incorrect. It's listed as 2/18/20. It should be 2/3/2020. Thank you.
Okay, everyone, on page 9, Ms.
Third
Woodard,
teacher down.
Ms. Woodard, should be 2/3/20 start date instead of 2/18. And then everyone get the other one?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. All right, at this time now, I will open it up to public comments on resolutions only. Resolutions only, please. Thank you. Okay, resolutions. Need a motion only on the personnel, labor relations, number 1. I need a motion. Mr. Shi? Mrs. Pang? Any comments? Mrs. Conway?
Mr. President, I need to recuse myself on Terry Ann Almontarner due to a conflict.
Thank you. Dan, did you get that?
Yep.
Any other comments? Okay. Seeing none, we need a vote.
Mrs. Madiker?
Yes.
Mrs. Bodowski?
Yes.
Mrs. Conway?
Everything yes, except for what I just said.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Chen?
Yes.
Mrs. Peng?
Yes.
Mr. Shi?
Yes.
Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Mr. Erico?
Yes.
So carried.
Thank you. Number 2, administration, A, B, and C. Can I get a motion? Mr. Shi? Mrs. Pang? Any comments? Vote, please.
Is this on the bond referendum?
Yes, I'm sorry, yes. Number 2, administration, A, B, and C.
Okay.
Mrs. Madiker?
So I just want to say something before I vote.
Okay,
So-
comment first.
Yeah, so have voiced my concerns for the high school plan, but I have full faith and confidence in the leadership of Dr. Bragan. So in support of him, I'm voting yes on the referendum, and I would hope that in the chance that if it gets rejected by the public yet again, then we go back to scratch and rip it apart and involve the residents of Edison, but yes, so my vote is yes.
Thank you. Mrs. Bodowski?
Yes.
Mrs. Conway?
Yes.
Dr. Chen?
Yes.
Mrs. Peng?
Yes.
Mr. Shi?
Yes.
Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Mr. Erico?
Yes.
So carried.
Thank you. Curriculum and instruction, A, B, and C. Motion. Mr. Shi? And Ms. Patel. Mrs. Patel. Comments? Vote, please.
Mrs. Madiker?
Yes.
Mrs. Bodowski?
Yes.
Mrs. Conway?
Yes.
Dr. Chen?
Yes.
Mrs. Peng?
Yes.
Mr. Shi?
Yes.
Mrs. Patel?
Yes.
Mr. Erico?
Yes.
All yes.
Number 4, pupil special services, A, out-of-district placements. Motion, please. Mrs. Conway. And I saw Mrs. Bodowski's hand, too. It was just hidden. Comments? Vote, please.
Mrs. Madiker?
Yes.
Mrs. Bodowski?
Yes.
Mrs. Conway?
Yes.
Dr. Chen?
Yes.
Mrs. Peng?
Yes.
Mr. Shi?
Yes.
Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Mr. Erico?
Yes.
All yes.
And lastly, finance, on finance resolutions. Motion, please. Mrs. Patel and Ms. Shivi Prasad Manikar.
Mrs. Madiker?
Yes.
Mrs. Bodowski?
Yes.
Mrs. Conway?
Yes.
Dr. Chen?
Yes.
Mrs. Peng?
Yes.
Mr. Shi?
Yes.
Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Mr. Erico?
Yes.
All yes.
Thank you. Committee reports, we have two tonight. Finance and Facilities Committee. Mrs. Conway?
Okay, in attendance was Elizabeth Conway, Ralph Errico, Shivi Prasad Madikar, Jerry Shi, Dr. Bragan, Dan Mashad, and Ken Taylor. Number one, Jean Parentoni and Marcus Rosenau from SSP Architects discussed the reductions to the scope of the referendum, which reduced the referendum total by about $6.3 million. The changes do not affect the eligible costs for the state debt service aid. Therefore, the district is still entitled to the $31 million in state aid over the 30-year life of the referendum. They also discussed the Woodrow Wilson Modular Classroom Brick Facade Project scheduled for the summer of 2020. SSP will be preparing the specifications for a public bid to be awarded prior to the summer. The committee approved presenting the revised referendum amount to the board at the January 27th board meeting. Number two, the committee discussed the 2020-2021 budget preparation and the available banked cap from the previous years. The committee will meet again in February to review a preliminary budget document. The committee agreed to use the banked cap that would expire this year to address overcrowding issues. Number three, Mr. Errico updated the committee on the EHS turf baseball field project. Now that the project has been approved by the Freehold Soil, the construction will begin within a few days. Number four, the committee discussed the bid received for the James Monroe Solar Panel Project. The discussion centered around rejecting the bid due to the minimal savings for a 15-year commitment and investigate which other schools would be able to have solar panels installed and prepare a larger scale solar project that would provide a much larger potential energy savings. Number five, the committee discussed the current rates for the integrated preschool program, which is currently $4,000 per year, and the subscription busing fee, which is $550 per year. The committee agreed to freeze the integrated preschool tuition at $4,000, and the committee will evaluate the district's current cost per student cost before recommending the 2020-2021 subscription busing fee. Also, number six, the committee discussed a proposal for synergistic for an energy savings program that could potentially save the district's hundreds of thousands of dollars in energy costs. The company would split the savings during the 5-year agreement. The district is guaranteed not to be responsible for any costs related to this program. The committee asked Dr. Pragan to inquire about the possibility of increasing the district's savings percentage and to ensure that there is a termination clause included in the agreement. As a follow-up, Dr. Bragan spoke to the company representative who said that the 50-50 split of the energy savings could not be adjusted. However, the administration still believes that this program could still potentially provide significant savings to the district. Number seven, the committee reviewed the election costs from the 12-10 referendum election. The township reimbursement invoice for the election day personnel and costs was $5,291, and the county election cost invoice was $71,265. The committee agreed to recommend that the polls only be open from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. for the referendum election on March 10th, 2020. And number eight, Ken Taylor advised the board of a sewer backup at Ben Franklin School in which the school would have had to close if the clog was not cleared by the following morning. The district had Public Sewer Service respond and they were successful in clearing the problem, but the cost was $8,400. The district's quote threshold is $6,000. However, based on the urgency of the situation, the committee is requesting that the board pass a resolution declaring that this service was contracted on an emergency basis. The meeting adjourned at 6:03 p.m.
Thank you, Mrs. Conway. I believe you have one more committee report.
Yes, I'd like to give a quick review of the Special Education Committee meeting that was held on Friday, January 25th at 3 p.m. Present were Dr. Conklin, the special education supervisors, Ms. Zika, Ms. Bonera, Ms. Hines, and Ms. Netzel, and board members Elizabeth Conway, Carol Badowski, Falguni Patel, and Shivi Prasad Madigar. Topics of discussion were the number of referrals, new enrollments, the various programs, staffing for additional nurses. RFP will be going out for all contracted provider services, and there was a topic of discussion on the pros and cons of resource centers. The supervisors also discussed current and future professional development. The meeting ended at approximately 4:30 p.m. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Eric.
Mrs. Conway. Any comments on the committee reports by Mrs. Conway? Thank you. All right, at this time, board president's announcements. Upcoming meetings. On Tuesday, February 18th, we will have our caucus meeting at the Ed Center at 7 p.m. On Monday, February 24th, we will have our public meeting at Edison High School, 7 p.m. At this time, open discussion, board members. Ms. Madiker?
So just want to say that I was reading an article about a couple of days ago, and it seems like the state has $1 billion in surplus. So I guess us board members should be reaching out to legislators so that we can start getting more of the funding that we deserve and which we are not getting from the state. So we should start making some noise about that.
Thank you. Mrs. Conway?
Many of the things that our board members do are rather difficult, but there are fun parts. And this past Friday, I had a fabulous day. I started off the day over at Ben Franklin Elementary School for their Community of Dreams presentation, and it was absolutely fabulous. The room was very crowded, but it was fabulous, and I was so proud of those third grade students. Afterward, in the afternoon, I attended the January Jam at Menlo Park Elementary School, where DJ was brought in and the kids had a fantastic time. Many of the teachers were there, and so was the vice principal, and we had a really good time, and I thank both schools for inviting me.
Thank you. Mr. Shi?
So just to follow up on that, I had the opportunity to attend the JMI third grade science fair last Wednesday. These were third grade students. They did a fantastic job on all the projects they picked. And when you speak to them, they're so mature the way they present all these issues and the resolution and the solutions. So I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of scientists coming out of that crowd. And tomorrow, the fourth grade is going to have their science fair again. Fourth grade is going to have their science fair, so I hope that board members can go there and see what the future scientists are going to present. The other thing that I want to I brought up before is that today in the student recognition, we had a fantastic girls volleyball program under the leadership of Mr. White. So since we have athletic committee right now, I just want to see if we can bring the volleyball starting in the middle school, so we can have a feeder program into both high schools. In the past several years, both high schools has produced a lot of good volleyball players, and at least 3 or 4 kids got recruited into Division I colleges. So if we can have a feeder program to help the district, that'd be good. But so hope the athletic committee can look into that. As far as the election, Mrs. Conway just mentioned that the March election is going to be 12 to 8. And you know my position. I have a reservation on that. At the last election, I voted at 6:15 a.m. I was the first one in my district. So, you know, a lot of board members think that that's a better use of time from 12 to 8. But, you know, I would prefer to be 6 to 8. But, you know, we go through the democratic process, right? Most board members felt that that's a good time, so we go with it.
Thank you, Mr. Shi.
Thank you.
And yes, Ms. Pang is our athletic chair, so I think middle school volleyball is a great idea. So we'll take that up in our meetings.
Budget. It's a budget.
Yeah. Like, you only need a ball and a pair of shorts and a T-shirt, so can't be much. Referees, I guess. Anyone else?
Oh, there's one more thing. Sorry, I forgot. There's one more announcement. On January 31st, Edison High School is going to have their second annual White Elephant event. Admission is $2. The door will open at 5:30, and the calling will start at 6:30. It's an auction. People bring their stuff. All the proceeds will help the Cancer Foundation for the younger kids. So 31st of January, 5:30 p.m., Edison High.
Yep, this
Thank
Friday.
you.
Great event.
Yep.
Ms. Radiker?
Yeah, so no, I just had a question. So is there a way we can just go back and do it like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. For the voting?
I think that's done.
It's
correct,
done
Dan?
already? Okay.
Dan? The times are, yeah.
Okay.
times are-
Okay.
We had to get that in probably 2 weeks ago. That's why I think I
Okay.
sent out a poll to all the board members.
Okay.
All right, any other comments from the board? Yes, Mrs. Coleman.
Can we fix the configuration of these tables?
2.
It's really hard for us to hear over here
Oh, okay.
what's going on.
Gotcha.
I think if we made it a little more of a curve, we would be better off.
Okay. I also did speak to our videographers about better speakers because they're having some feedback issues and things like that. So I told them to sit down with Dr. Bragan. If it's wiring or speakers, do what we need to do to make sure both the public and we can hear each other.
We each one have a microphone now.
Yeah.
That's an upgrade.
We each have a microphone now. That's a start.
Before we were sharing.
Yeah. Okay, any other comments? Okay, I have a few. Again, thank you again for everyone coming out. Just to Mrs. Madiker's comment about talking to our elected officials, that's already begun on my part. I'm sure was Mrs. Madiker spoke to a few of them. They are going to fight for us for more funding to get us where we should be. So that is taking place as we speak. I have had a few conversations. The problem is it may not be out before our budget cycle, or maybe after the budget cycle, but we'll take it whenever we can get it. So, also, I was not here. Unfortunately, I was in Florida at a meeting, and on Friday night, the 23rd, at the Pines Manor, the Edison Municipal Alliance Volunteer Awards Banquet was held. I think a few of the board members did attend. And we had 4 representatives from our school district or our students. So I'd like to recognize them publicly now. Exemplary commitment to the community in the prevention of substance abuse and violence was Carol Bonomo at J.P. Stevens High School. So congratulations to Carol. I actually think she's a Bayonne B, or her husband is, I know for sure. So, Youth Service Award for exceptional work in the prevention of substance abuse and violence. A student of ours, Michael Belfiore from Edison High School, was recognized. Dora Ramos, our Board of Attendance Officer, and 20-year Edison Municipal Alliance Youth Service Commission's member, was recognized as well. And lastly, I'm having a hard time reading this because I didn't know Mrs. Maroney was a senior citizen. It says Senior Citizen Award, I didn't say it, they wrote it, for dedicated service in the prevention of substance abuse and violence was Mrs. Beth Maroney from the Board of Ed, so I'd like to congratulate Beth as well. And lastly, Beth has been under the weather for the last few weeks, so I would like to wish her a speedy recovery and get well soon. We miss her here at the dais, and that's all I have to say. At this time, we're going to open it up to public comment.
Board President?
Oh, I'm sorry, one more.
Just one more thing, that when you guys go and talk to the legislator, assemblyman, assemblywoman, can you please remind them that they still owe us a GPS bill?
The GPS bill, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's actually in the assembly for a vote right now. I
But
believe.
they're looking for sponsors.
Oh, gotcha.
The
Okay.
bill is there, they're looking for other sponsors.
Okay, maybe we do a resolution. Okay,
Thank you.
all right, thank you. Public comments? Oh, you're going to make me very happy. All right, any? No? There you go. Move up front so I don't miss you because I closed the meeting quick.
Hi, I'm Padmaja Chinta.
Address, please.
At 4102 Springbrook Drive.
Thank you.
Good evening, board members and superintendent. I actually wanted to raise two issues, hopefully not controversial. The first one relates to exams. I know this is the week of quarterlies in the high schools, and I understand some kids have one quarterly, some have two on the same day. I was just wondering, is it possible to have a uniform policy whereby the kids have to only take one quarterly exam on a given day? I don't know if that has been looked into, but wanted to check if that's a possibility. The second issue is a logistical issue relating to attendance. I know when kids are sick and they don't go to a doctor's office, maybe they just have a bad cold or stomachache, the parents can write a note and get the absence excused. I had to deal with instances where the handwritten notes have been misplaced at the attendance office. So I was wondering if there is a way to just make the system electronic so that we get an acknowledgement that the slip has been received by the attendance office. Sometimes they don't necessarily put it in the system like until 2 weeks. So even when I go back and look at online, it still says unexcused. So I don't know if it's because it wasn't received or it was not put in. And sometimes we find out when it's like, oh, now you've exceeded the unexcused absences. So I just wanted to make a suggestion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What I'll do is speak to the curriculum committee on the quarterly exams, and I'll work with the academic officers. And then on the absence, we're going to have to see if our technology department could get that set up.
Thank you very
we'll
much.
look into both.
Thank you.
Mr. Johnson.
Joseph Johnson, 407 Durham Avenue. I just want to give a huge shout out to Sam Marshall, who's coaching the county championships for his wrestling at Herbert Hoover, so that's why he's not here. Yeah.
Okay. Congratulations.
And as well, our thoughts and prayers for a healthy, speedy recovery for our Beth Maroney. We dearly miss her. So first off, I would just like to thank Mr. Charles Ross of Edison High School and Mr. Robert Orbanovich of J.P. Stevens High School for assisting the Lena Harris Foundation with conducting the interviews with the potential candidates of the Lena Harris Foundation Mentorship Program. We still have one more set of interviews on Friday, but they have been absolutely wonderful so far, and the students are extremely eager to get started. Just a friendly reminder that the program kicks off on Saturday, February 8th, 2020, and it runs until Saturday, March 28th, 2020, with our scheduled trip to Monmouth University on March 1st, 2020, and our end-of-the-year banquet, which is our scholarship and awards banquet, on April 4th, 2020, And you are all invited to come, stop by at any time during the program. I know a couple of board members came out last year. We're going to continue to do the same thing, and I'll send you guys invites as well to the banquet, and hopefully everybody shows up looking nice and everybody's having a good time. And furthermore, I just want to bring to light two important bills that were passed last month. The first bill is A4657. This establishes a youth apprenticeship pilot program within the Department of Education. This bill establishes a 3-year youth apprenticeship program to high school and college students between the ages of 16 and 21. It gives them the opportunity to develop valuable work skills while continuing their traditional educational programs. This will potentially give students another avenue of career development outside of the path of college and community college, which I think is wonderful. And next, Bill A4150, and this requires meetings between student and appropriate school personnel after multiple suspensions and proposed expulsion from public schools to identify behavior and/or health difficulties. Oftentimes, misbehavior is rooted within health concerns and lack of resources, and this bill will potentially address all of those concerns. And these two bills are extremely vital for the future and development of our children, and we look in anticipation for what is to come in our students. So thank you all, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry. You-
Tony DiPasquale, 2 Pine Street. I just want to mention that this past Saturday, there was a meeting with a group of probably 30, 40 special needs parents with Dr. Bragan, and the culmination of this was during the, probably October, November, Mr. Diamorin and Ms. Madiker sponsored some small meetings with special ed parents, and it was the idea to get that all together to, meet with Dr. Bragan this past Saturday. And I have to say, it was very successful. Ms. Madiker was there, Ms. Badovsky, Ms. Conway were there also. And it was basically just a listen meeting for Dr. Bragan, just for parents to voice any concerns that they had about the special needs program, with their children, had some ideas, questions, and it was just a real good coming together of the special needs parents, just to see some of the school officials were there to listen, because sometimes parents don't feel like, and this is just all parents, don't feel like they're being heard. And it was just really good. I've heard a lot of good feedback about that meeting. And, one of the other things that came out of that is I was able to talk to parents, and I actually created a Facebook group called Edison Special Children that, it's just, again, a place that ideas can be exchanged. There can be, I do know some board members actually did join, and anybody is welcome to join under the understanding, and I haven't even have that on the rules, that don't expect school officials or board members to respond to questions or posts. It's more just of a, everybody seeing what parents are saying, what ideas they have, and I just think that will help the parents and the school district and the Board of Education, the officials, just come together and just move forward even more with, with the special needs program. I've told people, my 2 sons have had amazing opportunities in this district. And, even though there were challenges, above all, they both have gotten fantastic educations. And that's from the board all the way down to the teachers, that we just appreciate them putting the time into our kids, our special need kids. So I just think that, Dr. Bragan even mentioned maybe we can do this meeting again. And I just think, it fosters not just those ideas, but it fosters just seeing the parents, they see that the school district does care about their kids. It's not just about numbers. It's not just about, oh, we're in charge. The parents need to see that. Just something that it helps the parents, because it's tough, as I've explained in the past, to be a special need parent. And it's just amazing what it does to a parent when they just see somebody not, you don't have to agree on stuff, but just being heard and just being, open to the concerns that they have. So I just want to personally thank Dr. Bragan for coming out on a Saturday, and, all the parents that did come out. I think it's a good step forward, and I just see great things for the program. Again, it's Edison Special Children for Facebook, and anybody who wants to join, it's something that I think could just really help out everybody. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Young lady?
Good evening, Judy McQuillan, 2 Ethel Road. I'm here tonight to recognize, I forgot that it was Student Recognition Month, but I'm here to recognize a very special group of students. As you know, 2 weeks ago, tragedy struck the EELC family. One of our little girls perished in a fire. And out of this tragedy, I'm here to tell you about a story of comfort and some simple, random acts of kindness from the most unlikely students that you would expect. But before I can do that, I need to give you a little background information. About 7 years ago, Melanie Van Pelt, who is a special ed teacher at Edison High, and I got together and decided to form a social skills program for her LLD kids and my preschoolers. So we recognized that supporting social interaction was vital to our students in order to be successful. The interactions and relationships students experience with their peers can contribute to success and influence academic skills, vocational skills, and personal well-being. In students with special needs, social interaction can be overwhelming, anxiety-producing, avoidance-producing, and produce inappropriate behaviors. So we got together to decide how can we help these kids. So our social skills group pairs high schoolers with preschoolers. The students at Edison High provide information, training, and support to the preschoolers in order to boost their own confidence, self-esteem, functional language, and social skills. Each month, the students from Edison High have a unique opportunity to teach the buddies the same buddy every single month, the preschool buddy. Lessons include art projects, working on themed snacks, and reading stories. Conversations always lively. It's a win-win situation for everybody involved. For the high school kids, they're learning to become teachers, leaders, and they truly inspire my preschoolers. Well, 2 weeks ago, we walked over to Edison High School. It was a Friday, and it was my little girl's birthday. We celebrated at Edison High and at the EELC. And on Wednesday, tragedy struck. I'm here to speak on behalf of those LLD students who, honestly, my heart is so filled with love and affection for these kids, for their simple, random act of kindness, and I think they need to be recognized. These are not the kids that generally get your academic awards, your art awards, your photography awards, your awards, or mostly any kind of recognition for their achievements. But tonight, I am truly here to recognize these kids. They were devastated when they heard of the loss of one of their little buddies. So one of the boys, who is new to the program, went to his teacher and said, "Can we donate all our tips from the Java Lounge to donate to the family?" And not only that, they went above and beyond, and the kids all together brainstormed, and they had 2 big buckets. And I didn't know any of this. I had no clue that they were doing this for this little girl's family. And the 2 buckets originally had the little girl's picture on it, but then they said to their teacher, "It's making us too sad," so they changed the picture, but there were 2 jars to donate. I had no clue. My boss told me, "Go over to the Java Lounge on Friday." I was going anyway to make sure that the high schoolers were okay because they were so upset by the incident that occurred. So when I walked over to the Java Lounge on Friday morning to comfort all of these wonderful students, instead of me comforting them, they wound up comforting me. One by one, they came up to me and asked me if I was okay. They asked me. I was there to comfort them, but they were more concerned about me and the kids in my class. One by one, they came up and they gave me a hug. And if you know anything about these kids, they don't like to be touched, they don't like any kind of close contact, sometimes even with their parents. One by one, these big boys and girls came up to hug to make sure I was okay. Well, these kids offered me more comfort than you can ever imagine. And they collected $600 in one morning, in a couple of hours, for the family, for this devastated family. So tonight I stand here before you to recognize the LLD kids at Edison High for their simple act of kindness. Thank you. They turned a tragedy. They absolutely turned a tragedy into a project of love.
Thank you, Judy. Quickly, if you can get us, the administration, those names, the board and Dr. Bragan and the administration would like to recognize them at the next board meeting at Edison High School. So on February 24th, we'll recognize them publicly and on TV. Yes, please.
Otherwise, I would have taken them with me
Yep.
tonight.
So if you can get all those names,
These kids.
so you have a month to work on it.
All right,
All right.
we'll work on it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you, Judy.
Mr. Rudnick?
Matt Revnak, ETA Vice President, JP Stevens teacher. Just a couple points I want to make. First of all, student recognition is always a wonderful time. It's great to acknowledge our students, those that have succeeded and excelled in their individual domain, sports, music, etc. But I just want to point out to not only the members of the board, who probably know this anyway, but the members of the community, there's thousands and thousands of students we have that are involved in all these activities, clubs, community service organizations, etc. And I just want to make mention of them as well, even though they aren't necessarily, all county or all state or whatever, but these are kids that put in a lot of time and effort as well. In fact, some of them may be future all county or all state players. They're freshmen and, they're making their way through and working hard to improve on their skills as well. So I just wanted to make a mention of that. Number two, I couldn't be at the caucus meeting the other day, but it was very nice to be able to watch it on live stream. So I really want to thank you for that. It was great job. And I don't miss many meetings. That's one I unfortunately had to, but I was actually in the comforts of my home watching it as it was happening. So it's even better than watching it the next day on, videotape. Third thing is it came up about the funding. And again, this is something that's been an issue forever here in Edison, not getting the proper state funding. One of the things that's going around the state, down by, I live in Manalapan, and we're part of Freehold Regional District. They actually, I believe, have a lawsuit in the state have been petitioning because they actually got their funding cut. And I believe Toms River is another district down that way. So again, I've been saying this for years when we've had cuts, even going back to the early 2010s and even before with Governor Christie, is, I think districts need to organize and come together. There's always strength in numbers. And whether it's they had their funding cut, they're being flat funded, or districts like us that have always been underfunded, even though we're getting a little more than we used to, but we're still grossly underfunded, I think these districts need to come together and, go and storm down on Trenton and hit our legislators. One of the things, I'm actually on the State Health Benefits Committee, and this came up from one of the leaders of NJA. If, for example, we got out there and petitioned like the people with the immunizations did that day, and the mental health, mental illness screening and all, some of the things that happen, they'd have to listen to. The state is great for mandating programs, but they never fund them. And that was one of the biggest issues NJA brought up about the mental illness. Everybody's for it. We want to nip it in the bud, but there's no funding along with it and no plan of, okay, once somebody is, quote, diagnosed, what happens from there? There's no plan moving forward. So it's great for them to sit down in Trenton and make these mandates, but you got to put the bucks up to be able to make these programs work. And unfortunately, it always goes back on the local school districts. And the pot's only so big. The final thing I just want to mention, there's one more meeting before this happens, but on February 26th, DET is running our Volleyball for Survival. I know Dr. Bragan, I believe, is going to be playing, and hopefully we'll have a team together from the administration.
Hopefully I won't hurt myself.
So anyway, I just want to make mention to that and invite all the board members. It really is a wonderful night. For those of you that don't know what it is, every school usually puts in a team. And basically, it's a fundraiser last year, and this year it's for 3 Edison charities, the Mercer Tafaro Foundation, Buddy Ball of Edison, and Kitty Keepwell. And I believe last year, if I'm not mistaken, it was over $12,000 we raised. Is that right? So again, I want to invite, we have the teachers there. It's a great night because it brings teachers from around the district together as well and support staff, et cetera. And we even have some parents and children attend, and they root for their schools and all. So it really is a great night. It's a fundraiser for, again, 3 worthy organizations of our community. So I'd like to make mention of that. It's Wednesday, February 26th.
Where?
And J.P. Stevens, here at J.P. Stevens, and it begins 6 o'clock. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Any more public comment? Just making sure I look right. All right, motion to adjourn? Motion.
Supposed to do that, I thought.
Elizabeth, excuse me?
To do that. You make a motion, or you want me to make the motion?
No, we make a motion.
No, you make a motion. Mrs. Patel? Mrs. Conway? Meeting over. Thank you.